Good afternoon, children of God. All right, I felt led to come and share this because I think it's very important that we know when it is that we're up against spiritual warfare, what and how and when do we act. So recently, my husband and I had a little bit of a misunderstanding. But what I recognized was that it was warfare because it was so extreme. For what it was, the solutions that were coming about were far extreme. And in the midst of us going back and forth, I just felt it in my spirit. I needed to start to pray. And so I did. And I started to pray and I started to cut down whatever was operating in the spiritual realm. So much so that my tongues started to change. My God, it was like nothing I had ever encountered before. Now, I say all that to say this. There's many marriages and many relationships that could have been salvaged, but instead, you may have acted in your flesh. So instead of taking it into prayer, you decided that, you know what, I'm going to speak my mind. They're going to hear what I have to say, blah, 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 la, 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 and kept going on. Now, what God had just showed me was when it is that you're in the midst of having a disagreement or a heated argument, start praying. Don't wait till tomorrow to say, oh, you know, I'm going to get a chance. When I get a chance this week, I'm going to get into my prayer closet and pray about that. No, pray now. Pray immediately. Pray expeditiously. Okay? Because it comes like, the analogy God shows me is like, if your house is on fire, are you going to wait and say, oh, you know, tomorrow when I get around to it, or if I get some time this week, I will try to out the fire? No. You would put out that fire expeditiously, immediately, right? And that's what happens sometimes. People will get in an argument, get in a disagreement, and they allow it to linger. Now, suppose that was the house on fire. If you come back tomorrow to try to put that fire out, you're not coming back to anything but ashes. Amen? You're not coming back to anything but ashes. So now you don't even have nothing to work with. You don't have no framework. You have no wood. You have nothing. Just ashes. So that's why sometimes when it is that people are trying to salvage the relationship, too much has been said and too much has been done that it's so hard for them, for the individual to backtrack and say, okay, yeah, I want to work on this. You know, it's like people wait for years, months, weeks, whatever it is, for them to say, oh, maybe we need to get therapy, or maybe, you know, we need to start praying together, whatever it may be. I just know that when it is that you're up against spiritual warfare, there is no time for you to say, oh, when I get a chance. No, right now. Right this minute. Don't wait. Do not delay. I know sometimes it's hard when you're in your emotions, when you're in your feelings. You don't want to be praying for them. You don't want to be praying. But guess what? That's how the enemy gets a foothold in your relationship. Because remember, he comes to kill, steal, and destroy. So first he will cause confusion and friction. Now he could kill, he could destroy, he could steal, he could do whatever. Because if it's either you're going to come against warfare or you're going to come in agreement with the warfare. You choose. So if you see your house on fire, are you going to out that fire? Or are you going to wait till, oh, you know, I'll wait till later and then I will try to put it out? You decide.